Alright, my crying session is over. I'm sorry for that. Well, if you really want to know what happened, I guess I'll tell you. First of all, you might have noticed that between last two episodes I've been gone for 2 weeks, and that is because, well, after my pillagers died, Sorry, I had to eat. After my villagers died, I really just, I don't know, I just lost all motivation to play, and it just didn't come back for 2 weeks. I was like, I'm sure I'll start feeling like it again. Also, in those 2 weeks, I have been working on a bit of a different project, which is a game for Alpha, for their birthday, which I am making in Godot, and I had to learn Godot, so it's not like I haven't really done anything in 2 weeks. It's more like I couldn't touch Minecraft, okay? I'm sorry. I don't know what came over me. Other than that, though, I would have already brought out this video like 2 days ago, maybe 3 days, something like that. But my neck started to hurt incredibly much for no reason. I don't really know why. My neck was just like, I'm gonna be in pain now, and it made recording incredibly painful and difficult. So I was just like, no, I'll wait until it's better, and it's better now. Slightly. So here I am. I have been doing lots of things, things which are behind me. But instead of showing you right away, I'll show you through the use of a lovely little montage while I'm talking about things as well. Teehee. So I started out with this 12-minute long session of discovering and getting some materials. It's condensed down into 15 seconds, so it's quite fast. I'm sorry for your eyes. But next, I actually started doing some proper work. I expanded the farm that I started because I felt like it needed to be bigger. Because I wanted to. And this took very, very long. Also, by the way, I'm doing this in one take. I thought it would be funny. You can hear all my pauses and my breathing. I hope you enjoy that. I just thought it would be nice so you can, you know, hear me speak for real without no editing, no silly stuff going on. You can hear all my silly little noises. Yep. Here, the man came along to help me out planting the seeds, because again, this took forever. I don't really know exactly how long this took, but I know it took at least 2 hours. So I'm never doing this again. I was thinking of planting more farms eventually, but no. No, this is so boring and painful. Also, I made a little shack for my camel. I thought it was lovely, and here's Alpha. This is going quite fast, actually. I don't really remember what all of this is. This is just Alpha. Yep. Here, Nutric was streaming. This is actually before I did other things. Nutric helped me find out how to plant trees. This is a tree. I'm planting it. Also, if you put glass like that, you can grow a tree like that. Cool, right? Yep. I don't really know what is next yet. I haven't edited this yet, so I'm recording this before I actually finish this. Well, I bet right now what's going on screen is either me dancing or what could I be doing? Oh yeah, right. I made a barn. That's cool. What am I gonna put in the barn? Oh, okay. What am I gonna put in the barn? I'll show you. I'll show you in a bit. Actually, you'll see what's in there. The spoilers. There's also silos, fun silos. You can see those. I'm building them. Also, my neck is a lot better today. I'm actually recording this the next day. That's a fun fact. Hope you enjoyed me yapping for the rest of the song. Yeah, I'll probably show something very cool at the end, though. I don't know what it is yet, but enjoy. Anyways, that was it. Bye. Yeehaw, partner. I have become a farmer. Do you like my new outfit? I think it's very snazzy. Also, it does have a straw hat. Or, well, let me phrase it this way. I tried to make a straw hat, and it kind of, well, it's a little bit flat looking and weird. I don't know how I feel about the straw hat. It looks really, really goofy. If this was the Sploink SMP, I would have probably just used a custom model, but unfortunately on this server, we do not have that, so I just had to alter my skin to have a straw hat. I don't know, I'm not too much of a fan. But, you know, since I built this barn and I already had a bunch of farming stuff going on prior, I feel like it's very fitting for me to just double down on the farming. So I dressed up for the occasion. Also, as you might have seen briefly, I made this little tractor, or well, it's supposed to be a tractor. I'm not really sure what's wrong with it. I tried to make it off memory. I do like it. It's a silly little thing. Can't really do anything with it. It just kind of exists. I think it's cozy, a nice little detail and some life into the area. But the inside of the barn does have a use. I haven't really been farming wheat. Instead, I've been farming, well, I've been farming villagers. It's quite simple, really. I've got a little setup that spawns me more villagers. Right now it's disabled because I've blocked off the entrance. But otherwise, this will mass produce these guys. Right now I have more than enough in... oh god, that looks horrible. With villager breeders, you never want to look in the hole. It's horrifying. It sounds so wrong out of context. But it's quite an efficient little setup. I just roll a minecart through. I can put a rail to wherever I want the villager to go. I hook it up to my zombie. I get it out. Can make it go upstairs to where I have some more villagers set up. And it's working out quite well. Also, if you're wondering why the door is just wide open and there's villagers out and quite vulnerable, well, nothing can really get in. You might have noticed this little line of moss carpet over here, but what's actually underneath it is just berry bushes, and because of that, any mob will just not pathfind through here. Literally nothing. Well, I mean, flying mobs can technically pathfind through, or spiders, but they're not gonna go and attack the villagers, so it's basically a foolproof system. I've had a spider come in once and try to attack me, but you know, that's fine. I don't know why I did that. Also, there is this thing that I've built. But before I show you in full, let me show you how I build it with a very, very quick time lapse, because I've already done a time lapse and I don't really want to bore you with another one. So this one will be over in just a second, okay? Don't worry. Alright, I'm not sure why, but you can probably tell that I didn't build the entire thing in that time lapse, but for some reason, the recording of where I actually built most of it is just gone, so that's fine. You've seen this. See, I told you that was fast. Anyways, here it is, my lovely little water tower. And also, as you might have noticed, there is some of these guys around because Halloween passed by while I was working on things. And so I captured some of the zombies and, well, also a skeleton with pumpkins on their heads. Unfortunately, they also kind of sacrificed my sheep. This guy is stuck, and there was one other sheep in here, but I think it escaped. One of them is in a boat with a skeleton, which I don't like very much because that's dangerous. Also, the skeleton sucks. It keeps shooting at me. There's also one with a jack-o'-lantern. Unfortunately, this is the only one that I caught with the jack-o'-lantern. The reason these guys are extra special is because you can't even physically get them. Like, you can't put a jack-o'-lantern on the head of a mob normally. You can put jack-o'-lanterns on mobs' heads by using dispensers, but you can't do that with jack-o'-lanterns. Yeah, I used to have more sheep in here, but they're all kind of... Ow! Probably that's why, actually. Ow! It's dangerous over here. There's two more of them over there at the bridge, and there's also these two, and this is my favorite little guy. It's a baby zombie with a earth pumpkin on its head. Definitely my creme de la creme of Halloween mobs. Consider myself quite lucky with that, really. Before we go in and before I show you what the whole point of it is, even though you might already have an idea if you know what it is that you saw in the very quick time lapse and you like freeze framed it somehow, I have got some questions I want answered. First of all, I feel like I need a name for this area. I've seen a cool trick done on Hermitcraft by Xuma Void, which is placing down shulker boxes really high in the sky so you can't really see them from the ground, but when you're in a map, you get a very cool text, and if you use colors right, you can get a really cool looking font. I think that would be kind of nice. So if anyone has any suggestions for what I should name my little farmer area, let me know in the comments. But while I'm on the topic of giving names, I have a couple things I also need names for, and I've not really had any inspiration for. So I think it would be nice if I asked the comments to answer that for me as well. First of all, I got my little doggy, which now also has lovely armor on, all nice and magenta. I need a name for the dog. I also need a name for my little parrot, and 2 names for my camels. This is the one that I bred with 2 of my camels, because I managed to get another one. This is the regular camel. The other one already has a name, it's Half Moon, but I want to name the other 2 as well. I'm not really going to get more camels, but I think it's nice just having them around, and maybe I can breed camels and trade them with people or something like that. But I need names for these 2 as well. Also, I have been gathering up more pillagers, because I still like the idea of having just pacified pillagers walking around my areas. You might have noticed that one of the pillagers did survive that explosion, if you paid close attention, and I did also have one other guy still sitting at my nether portal over there, but they're both kind of busy, and one of them might have despawned, but we don't talk about that. Because you see, this is where we get on to the part with the water tower, because it is quite a useful building, really. Let me just climb up and show you what's inside. Because inside of this water tower is an iron farm. And it's slowly been sploobing out some iron, and it has a leak, I guess. I'll look into that. And while I was setting it up, I put one of my pillager guys in here. This guy is named Plart. Don't really know why. Just thought it was funny. And he's making sure that my villagers get nice and scared, so they start sploobing out iron golems and give me free iron. Normally people use zombies for these kinds of things, but genuinely because I already had pacified pillagers, I figured it would just be a lot easier if I got that guy in. Plus they don't try to attack me and they still scare the villagers even if they're pacified, which is kind of a neat mechanic. It's a very odd and specific use for them, but I mean it works out for me, I guess. But yeah, as I put the first guy in here, I forgot to name tag it, and it might have despawned because I was trying to get a name tag, because while I was in call with Alpha told me like, oh, maybe you should name tag it before you know, leave it alone. Apparently going all the way over here to my little house, that's enough for them to despawn, so rest in pieces, just like the other pillagers. I'm sorry. Also, we can't forget oh no. Also, we can't forget the branding. We've got the M in one of my buildings. I usually spam those around everywhere. It's surprising that I haven't really done that on the Splinker SMP either, and that is kind of the first series I've done on YouTube. But I promise you, every build I normally do in Minecraft for the past couple of years before I really started filming, I just kind of spam those around everywhere. So I feel like I've done myself service by putting it back into one of my builds. Also, I do have plans for these silos as well. I don't know how much is going to fit inside them quite just yet, but I kind of plan to put a melon and pumpkin farm inside of them. I think that will make them useful, plus I guess it kind of makes sense. I'm pretty sure these types of silos are usually used to store feces from animals inside of a barn, and they store them up so they can use them as compost and stuff, I believe. But yeah, that is not really a thing in Minecraft, so I'll just do something kind of close with it. And it's still farming, so hey, it fits, okay? Shush. It doesn't need to be realistic. I mean, we've got an iron farm instead of a water tower. What do you want? And as for plans for the rest of this area, I do plan on building a couple more barns, maybe smaller ones, and housing some basic farms inside of those as well. I am still planning on building a castle on one of these mountains. I'm not quite sure about that yet. That might have to wait until a bit longer, but either way, those are the vague plans for the future. And even though Halloween is already over, I also had the idea to put a pumpkin patch somewhere around the barn over here. I just thought it would look really, really nice and cozy, and it would fit the vibe definitely. So I'm planning on doing that still. That will, I guess, be one of the only farms that I'm planting, because I'm seriously never ever doing one of these again. It takes so long, and I'm not gonna use it other than for little bits. I'm probably actually gonna just straight up end up getting a villager to farm wheat instead of using this thing, because it is a bit of a nightmare. Also, my barn really attracts zombies because it's got villagers inside, and the zombie that's inside keeps spawning in recruitments because it's trying to attack the villagers. but it's stuck in a boat, and they keep wanting to eat my sheep, because for some reason this is the spot they all spawn in. See, there's one there. God, there's so many. Genuinely, there are so many of them. Look, they're spawning in around the barn in masses. I'm not kidding. Oh, they're actually trying to jump in. Luckily, I am smart and they can't. It doesn't always look very foolproof, but I promise it is. They cannot get in no matter how hard they try, even though it looks like they really get close to actually coming in, but they can't. They just can't. I've stood AFK in this area for quite a while because I needed some iron for a future project, and they haven't come in yet, so yeah, that's good. On that note, though, I am out of time for the day, so I hope you enjoyed, and I will hopefully see you next time. Please subscribe so you can stay tuned for more things like this. I mean, if you've watched this far into the video, I'm sure you enjoy the kind of stuff that I create. Also, check out older videos. There's some older stuff that I've created, although maybe not as good as these. I would love it if you gave that a look and checked out my channel and subscribed and stuff. I put a lot of work into these videos, and I feel like I don't really get much out of it. I know that's just YouTube's fault, and I know that's how it works, so I'm not really mad about it, but either way, I would love to defy the laws of YouTube and get myself known anyway. And see, that's what I mean with spiders. They just kind of crawl in. Oh, it's thunderstorming too now. I think it's a sign to go. Everything's going wrong. It's scary out there. I hope you enjoyed and have a spooky... Have a spooky... Bye.